My name is Kawal Sethi and you are watching Celebrity Talks with Kawal.
It's a great pleasure for me to introduce today's guest.
Today's guest is very well-known comedian across the globe for his amazing observational comedy. You know, humor made up of daily life situation. He is very much known as the married guy in a comedy circle. Any guesses? Please welcome certified iPhone hater, Mr. Amit Tandon. Hello, Mr. Amit. How are you?
I'm good, Kawal. How are you?
I'm all well. It's so good to finally have you on our show. I remember during lockdown, I've seen all your specials on Netflix, videos on YouTube, and since then I've become big fan of yours. And I always wanted you to have you on our show. So a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question to you is like, I know that you have done engineering or आपने MBA भी किया है, but I always wanted to know how and when this comedian Amit was born.
So the thing is, after my MBA, I was doing my job, मैंने job करा, and then I started my own HR consulting firm. So till 2009, 2010, I was doing that, and we were growing fairly fast. So I think within 4 or 5 years, we grew to a size of around 45, 50 people. Uh, but then I wanted to kind of restructure the organization, and in the process मैंने एक book पढ़ी थी. I had a business coach. He gave me a book which is called The 4 Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, and that book was around how to organize your business in such a way so that you have to work only 4 hours a week. But then the book also talks about setting other goals in your life, a passion that you would follow with the rest of your time. ऐसा नहीं है कि 4 घंटे अगर आप काम करो तो बाकी टाइम सिर्फ टीवी तो देखोगे नहीं. So there I wrote that I will try stand-up comedy. I wrote that because during college time in 95, 96, I used to host the annual college festival. I was part of a drama team where we used to participate in everything in college and used to do well. So I just, as a whim, I wrote that I'll try stand up. So that happened in 2010. But since I had written, I said that, okay, let me try. If I've written, I've made a commitment, let me just do this. And I, searched where stand up comedy happens, where there's anything happening in that domain, live comedy. And open mics had just started in Delhi at that time. Open
Okay.
mics are where, in a restaurant, a few comedians get together, everybody gets 5 minutes on stage and all that. So started doing that in 2010. 2, 3 years was purely, out of passion, out of, there was no, it was like a hobby. But then I realized there was, people were ready to offer you money once you start doing well. Corporate shows started coming in, and did that till 2015, 16. And 2016, I started releasing my videos on YouTube, and fortunately, they went viral. And by 2017, I started doing international shows. I was doing shows in US, Canada, UK, Dubai. Of course, I've done quite a few shows. Uh, so in 2017 itself, I think I did 8 or 9 countries I performed in. So then I decided that maybe this is something that I should do full time. So closed my business and moved to Mumbai, and here I am now.
Wow. Awesome. So Amit, you are known for an observation comedy in this industry, like wedding DJs, first drinking experience, Indian middle class symbol. So did you choose this style, or rather, why did you choose this style?
It's not really a choice that you make. It's more like you do comedy. This in stand up we talk about something called finding your own voice. Okay,
Yeah.
finding your own voice means when you start getting more and more honest on stage. So whatever I write about is largely what has either happened with me, or I have experienced, or I have seen as an outsider. Okay, so most of the things that you do in comedy are your own experiences. Okay, when you do made up stories,
Yeah.
it looks like acting. वो acting लगेगा. Okay, which I don't do. So whether it's the first drinking experience or it's the middle class symbols. These are things that have actually happened with me, and
Okay.
I just take them on stage, and slowly when people relate, people laugh at it. And that's how I look at
No, it's very nice actually. When you actually do your real life mein jo aapke sath ho raha hai, you're sharing that.
it.
It's amazing actually, and people do relate.
Yeah.
Sir, so you have a very clean image in
Yeah.
comedy industry, so
Yeah.
which is why people joke about about you being so popular on a family WhatsApp group. So
Uh-huh.
this clean comedy is intentional.
So the story is that, when I started doing comedy, I already had kids. I was living in a joint family. I used to live with my parents. So 2010, my son was already 6 years old. My daughter was 4. So when I started getting on stage, I used to do some edgy stuff. I used to, in terms of words, language, sets, there was stuff that I was doing which was, adult in nature, as you would call it. But I was so used to uh, controlling my language at home, because I would, when I would go back home, I was sitting with my parents, I was sitting with my kids, that even when I was performing, if I would see a kid in the audience, even if it was a 10, 12-year-old kid or somebody above the age of 60, 65, I was very uncomfortable, using that language or doing those sets. Okay.
Wow.
So then, I felt that somewhere, that maybe I should just write sets that I can do without any stress anywhere, irrespective of who's there. So when I started doing clean comedy, consciously I moved into doing clean comedy. I did it for my own good, for my own comfort, that this makes me comfortable. What I didn't realize was that it kind of gave me a label. It worked very well as a marketing tool, as you can call it, where people said that, we can watch your comedy without using earphones. We can forward it in family WhatsApp groups. So kind of work for me was not a conscious decision to sell myself, but was more of a conscious decision to make myself comfortable.
Amazing. And I think it's more fun, when you can actually watch comedy with your family. Because otherwise, wo hi ho jata hai, forward, stop, this and that, and it makes a lot of sense.
Uh,
Um,
Kind of helped me now, because now I have a show coming up on Sony Sub. I'm
yes.
doing 6 days a week. The show coming up called Good Night India. It's come to me purely because of the brand of comedy that I was doing. Where Sub TV again is used, is known for family based comedies or light-hearted content. Uh, and now we've kind of put together an entire lineup of comedians who belong to the same brand as mine, and working for me now.
Working for you. Actually, my next question was regarding this show only, Good Night
Right.
India, जो सब TV पे 24th January को आ रहा है. I wanted you to
It's
tell a
moved
little
to
bit about
31st
it.
January.
Oh,
31st
it's
को हो
moved to
गया.
31st January.
हाँ,
Okay,
आपके
fine.
दुबई के कारण ही हुआ है ऐसा. हाँ, I was stuck in Dubai because of COVID, so the dates had to be pushed and all that. So
Oh, okay. So you got COVID in Dubai.
yeah, so I was stuck in Dubai till I think 11th of January. I was stuck there. So the shoot dates were pushed, and that's why the
Great. So 11th of Jan आपने COVID खत्म किया यहाँ पे अपना क्वारंटाइन और आपने मुझे पास कर दिया and I got COVID exactly on 11th of Jan. Amazing. You have started this project called Talk Positive, where you talk to COVID positive patients. So how did this start? Was it like how this came to your mind?
This happened in the second wave. So what happened in second wave was that we were again locked up. Like first wave was tough,
Yeah,
but we were like, this is 6 months and we are done. But when the second wave came in, it almost looked like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, right? Suddenly
true.
after 1 year, we were like, अरे हम वापस वहीं के वहीं पहुंच गए जहाँ से शुरू हुए थे. And it was
Correct.
very depressing. I didn't get COVID, but uh, we were locked up in our homes, and it was very frustrating. And at that time, it was just one evening I was sitting and I was thinking that if I am so frustrated and I am feeling so bad when I have my entire home, I am with my family, how bad are those people feeling who are stuck in one room because
Yeah.
of COVID? So it was nothing planned. I just tweeted that let's talk, I said, if you have COVID, I know you're stuck in a room, you've not seen people, let's just get together, look at people without masks, and just talk to each other, because I believe that mental health is very important. For mental health, you want somebody who can listen to you, who can talk to you. From that's where the talk positive, it was not really supposed to be an initiative also. It was just that I said, let's talk, but it went viral, and we did, I think, 25 such sessions. We had people joining in from across the world, and uh, you know it was a great experience for me.
That's
Fantastic.
amazing, actually. Amazing. Big hand to you. It was very big thing because Ashkal people don't think about everybody, and where you actually thought about random people जिनके आप जानते भी नहीं है. So that was a big thing.
I think this was a time when we had to think about everyone. This was a time when we had to care for each other. Otherwise, it would not have, it would have been much tougher if, people were not helping each other. So.
Very true. चलिए आपसे एक और बात पूछते हैं. आपने एक शो भी लिखा है, चलो कोई बात नहीं, and you have written it for Netflix special. So
No,
what
no,
is
it was for Sony Live. It's on Sony Live.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Netflix, I did a different show, Comedy Premium League. I did on Netflix.
Yeah, that I have seen all the episodes of that. So what is the difference between writing for yourself or writing for Vinay Pathak and Ranveer Shori?
It was very different because one, you have to understand the persona of the person who's going to deliver, because as I said, there's a different voice. And second, Chalo Koi Baat Nahi was a brainchild of me and Gursimran Khamba. We thought we wanted to do something in the area of satire, okay, which had not happened for a long time. So we wrote a lot of sketches also. The challenge was, one, we were definitely writing stand-up, but for somebody else, so we had to look at how they perform. And second, when you're writing sketches, you write with a team of 6 or 7 people. And before that, I was just writing stand-up, which I would write and I would deliver. So, one man army, you are the actor, you are the director, you are the producer, you are the writer. But this gave me a great exposure to how to collaborate and work with others, accept their ideas, flush down your ideas a number of times and all that. So that way it was a fantastic experience.
So what is one preference, your preference, like a stand-up or sketch comedy? What do you like more?
No, there's no preference as such. The stand-up comedy, the great thing about stand-up comedy is, especially live, is that I think it's one of the toughest art forms. I could be wrong about it also, because you do not have any support. When you're doing stand-up, when you're on stage, you just have one mic and one light, and you have to talk to 1,000 people, keep them occupied for an hour and a half. You have to make them laugh. There's no second person in the room. There's no music. There's no characters, nothing. It's just your responsibility. Okay. And, as they say that, stand-up is an art form where you are judged every 20 seconds. Agar laughter nahi aaya 1.5 minute, then somewhere you're going down, you're not doing a good job. Doesn't happen with any other art form. And the other thing is that laughter is the most honest form of applause. Okay, it's the most honest form of applause. You can tell people, please give a big round of applause for somebody, right? But you can't say, please give a big round of laughter. That I have to earn.
True.
It has to be earned. So that way, in terms of challenges, I think stand-up, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. But, I am largely a writer. So there are some ideas which I can convert, bring out only as sketches, or in the form of probably a story or a movie. So I'm working on all those formats right now. So the other forms are satisfying, but I think, stand-up still stays my first love.
Yeah. So recently I have watched Comedy Premium League on Netflix.
Yeah.
Samay and Adar are already comedian, or unki comedy timing was all perfect, but Ritasha was a dark horse, so how was your experience on the show?
See, there we needed all kinds of skill sets also, because we were not just stand-up comedians, we were doing acting also, so Ritasha brought her own set of strengths. So when it came to performances, she helped us in understanding how to, emote, how to, talk. So there are some techniques for theater people that they use, she told us, you use a pencil on your tongue and then you talk and things like that. So Ritasha brought her own set of strengths. There were different, sketches where Ritasha added much more than we could. And the good thing about Ritasha was she was very open to learning and was, like normally a lot of actors are very image conscious. Okay. कि मुझे ऐसे नहीं दिखना है, मेरा ये लेफ्ट प्रोफाइल अच्छा होता है, ये मेरा राइट प्रोफाइल अच्छा होता है, मुझे ये, मुझे पतला दिखना है, मुझे ऐसे दिखना है. Ritasha was none of that. So, even in the first episode, she went all out and she's talking about, the loose bags, under her arms and stuff like that, which needs, especially for an actor, who these days believe that looks are very important. You need a lot of bravery for somebody to come out and say, hey, I lost weight and see how this, it's loose now and things like that. So that's something that Ritasha did very well for us.
Yeah, it's actually very beautiful, this thing. I've seen all the episodes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a fun segment of this show. Okay, let's play a game called Slam Book. Okay, it's a concept based on a slam book. So I'll ask you very simple questions. You have to answer me very quickly. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite color?
Purple.
Male celebrity crush?
I actually hate most of these guys for the reason that they're too good, especially yeah, some of these guys are like Milan Soman. I really hate. Like at this age, you are not supposed to look this good.
Okay, so female celebrity crush? Sorry?
Aishwarya Rai.
Aishwarya Rai. Favorite TV show?
Same
Yeah.
for Black and White.
True. Favorite TV show?
Flop show. Of all times, it's flop show.
Yeah. Favorite song to dance to?
That keeps on changing actually. Right now, I think I still like Jingat a lot. Jing 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 Jingat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so that's your current favorite. Okay. Moment in a movie that makes you cry?
Normally don't cry in movies, but I almost feel like crying when it's a shitty movie. So I don't really cry in a movie ever. I think the last time I almost cried was when I watched Eternals, which was a very bad movie. Like first time Angelina Jolie on screen, and I still hated the movie, and I walked off in the middle of the.
Okay. Favorite comedy movie?
Favorite comedy movie? Quite a few actually. The Andaz Apna Apna, I think still.
Oh yes. A song that you have been listening to recently?
Ye Raat Bhigi Bhigi Ye Mast Hawaein. It's a very old song. I don't know if you know the song, but it's a.
Nice. Tell us something very random, like anything.
Anything. I think I can tell you I've right now I've been mentally very exhausted because there's so much work that's happening on this television show, Good Night India. And I'm very nervous because I have to perform 102 stand-up pieces.
Wow.
Which is a crazy number, and I'm kind of writing most of it. So it's very
superb. Okay, worst movie that you have seen?
First movie, I think that I remember probably is Sholay.
Okay. Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food, Kadi Chawal.
Kadi chawal.
Kadi Chawal.
Okay. Favorite quote?
Favorite quote. In the end, a pessimist might prove to be right, but it's the optimist who had a great time throughout.
Favorite singer?
Sonu Nigam.
Place you'd like to live. Sorry.
I would love to live in.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
I think I stay there. I'm right now in Mumbai. I love to stay in Mumbai. So I think I'll like to spend the rest of my life here.
Okay, Mumbai Meri Jaan. A movie that you have seen recently, you have 1 minute to explain, and your time starts now. I'm putting the timer on.
So I watched 83 recently. Loved loved what Ranveer Singh did in that movie. Loved the movie purely out of, the kind of pride that movie brings in, the right messages, the way they mix the reality and, how they've added the actors to it. Uh, but I expected a little bit more in terms of the final edits of the movie. One of the movies that really leaves a big smile on your face in recent times. One of the best movies I've seen.
You still have 30 more seconds.
Okay. So I wish Deepika Padukone had a longer role in the movie purely out of selfish reasons. I know, doesn't make sense there, but yes, I wish that was there. And I think the kind of work that the research that the team has done on that movie is fantastic. And, as an Indian, I think everybody should watch it at least once.
That's it. Thank you so much. You have scored full.
Thank you, Kawal.
Lastly, just one thing, like what's the one thing you want to say to, upcoming comedians, like anything you want to give a message to them?
I give the same message every time. I say that, वो मत करो जो तुम्हारा वो तुम्हें जो तुम्हारे हिसाब से मार्केट में चल रहा है, वो करो स्टेज पे जो तुम्हारे दिमाग में चल रहा है. You bring your own voice to stage. Don't try to do things that are already happening in the market, because if you look at 8 to 10 comedians who are doing well, all of them have different voices, and everybody is unique. So try to be unique when it comes to stand-up comedy. Nobody wants another one, who looks
Correct.
or sounds the same as
Correct. Correct. Thank you so much, Amitji. It's a pleasure. I'm so happy that you came on the show. It was pending from a long time, but thank you so much.
We've been talking for a long time.
Yes, and next time you're coming to Dubai, please give me a time, so at least I'll host you here with your family or wherever. It will be a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
Like, share, subscribe to CTW Kawal.